everybody, Joe Joseph here for the DailySheeple.com, and this is your news shot. Let's go to the Washington Post, where Governor Scott Walker wants Wisconsin to be the first state to stop dictating how much time kids go to school. Finally, there's somebody out there that's talking sense about our broken public school system, our broken system in general. Because the way that whether you go to private or public school is structured certainly is not advantageous towards the advancement of our society, for the betterment of our society, and certainly is not tailored towards making your child smarter. It says here, if Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker gets his way, the Badger State will become the first to stop requiring students in public school to spend a minimum number of hours in class. A proposal in Walker's new budget plan for ending the state's current minimum requirements, 437 hours for kindergarten, 1,050 hours for elementary schools, and 1,137 hours for secondary schools, and allow school districts to do what they want in terms of seats and hours for students. Let me stop there. We were a different society when the public school system was designed, when the structure of it was put together. One of the main endowments that was critical to the formulation of the current public school structure was the Rockefeller Foundation. So that's your first red flag. But we were an agrarian society, and we were being kind of moved into an industrial society. So what the public school system was designed to do was to make people just smart enough to operate the machines, but not smart enough to question authority, not smart enough to stand up to injustice, but just smart enough to push those buttons and to do what they had to do when they went to work on the assembly line. Now, since that time, of course, things have changed here in America and throughout the world, where you have automation that's taken away a lot of that work. You've had outsourcing of jobs, which, again, have taken away a lot of that work. But we've also had the internet that's come around, that's revolutionized the way that we learn and has really opened the access of information to everybody worldwide, whereas before you kind of depended on your mainstream media outlets, your public schools, to get that information, to get that knowledge, or you had to go and shuffle through the Dewey Decimal System, you know, the card catalog at the library, until you found what you were looking for. Now it says districts and schools would be judged on their state report cards, which are produced annually by the Department of Public Instruction, based largely on standardized test scores. Let me stop there. Standardized testing is one of the worst ways to determine where your child is at. And the reason why I say that is because human beings are not standardized. So why would we standardize the way we test them? It makes absolutely no sense. No two children are wired the same. So why would you think that you're getting any sort of accurate metric as to how intelligent or how educated somebody is because they bomb a standardized test? They may not be able to take tests. They may not be interested in tests. I wasn't interested in tests. Doesn't make me a moron. It just means that I learn differently. And that's the mindset that we not only have to change, but we have to accept. And so by doing this and taking away these minimum requirements, you now open the door for so many other things, so many different ways of learning, and making the criteria a criteria based on this is what you should know when, vice how many hours you're supposed to be in school. And I think that's a much better measure, if you will, but also understand that some parents, some children may not want to go down that road of your standard reading, writing, arithmetic, civics, and all that kind of stuff, because in many ways, it's just not advantageous. You know, say that you have a son and that son is proficient with wood, that you find that, wow, this kid really likes woodwork. Well, then you start tailoring a curriculum that's centered around that. So you would know how to measure. He'd know how to do basic geometry, angles, things like that. You know how to read and write. But after that, why would I focus on anything else? Of course, your social studies or your Constitution, get them to know their rights because that's something that's not taught in public school. But, hey, this kid wants to be a carpenter, then I'm pushing carpentry, 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 carpentry. And by God, he's going to be the best carpenter that the world has ever seen. This is something that our current structure has done well at snuffing out. And God only knows how many Teslas, how many Einsteins, how many Edisons that we've snuffed out because of the current public school system. I'm Joe Joseph. This was the DailySheeple.com's News Shot, and I'll have one again for you real soon. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day, everybody.